Hi preps, welcome back to our online art lessons. This week we're going to continue with our paper mache cup and we're going to be painting our paper mache cup today. So what you'll need this week is some paint and some brushes, a plastic plate, that's going to be our paint palette, a marker, some scissors and some newspaper just so that we don't make a mess anywhere. If you don't have any paint, that's okay. So if you haven't been doing the paper mache task, that's okay, you don't miss out. Just go back to the activity description and click on the other link, the third link for the other activity this week. And if you're not too sure if you can do the paper mache task, you can always do the other activity this week and go on with this one next week or on the weekend or during the holidays. So if you don't have any paint, that's okay. I'm going to show you a couple of little tricks to make some paint at home. They aren't as good as store-bought paint, but they'll do the job. So one of the options you can use is mixing shaving foam with food colouring. So if someone at home has shaving foam, maybe you can ask if you can use some. Another option is to mix some of our flour and water mixture that we were using for the glue of the paper mache with some food colouring. Or if you can't do any of those things, you can also use some coloured markers, or you can glue some pictures or fabric to your cup. So our first step is to separate the cup from the paper mache. So you might want to ask an adult for help. Carefully bend in the sides of your cup. This is why I asked us to use a flexible cup when we started our paper mache. And then carefully begin to twist your cup out of its paper mache case. You don't want to force it out of the paper mache because we don't want to rip that paper mache cup we've made. So to be very careful. Our next step is to trim our cup. So using scissors, trim the top of your cup. You might like to ask an adult to help you using your scissors to trim your cup. You could always cut it straight, or if you'd like, you could do zigzags, or you could do a wiggly line. Step number 3, we're going to draw a design. So use your marker or a pencil if you like to draw a design onto your cup. Make it nice and big. We don't want lots of little details. We want some nice big pictures. You can use some of the patterns and the lines that we've looked at this year. So have a think about those patterns, polka dots. What other things could become a pattern? Wiggly lines, zigzag lines, butterflies, love hearts, all those things. Step number 4 is to get your paint ready. So if you're using the homemade paint, get around 3 colours prepared so you have 3 colours to play around with. If you're using some store-bought paint, like in the picture there, put some out on the plastic plate ready to go. Step number 5 is to have some fun painting. So hold your cup from the inside, like in that picture there, and get painting. Don't worry about going over the lines because once it's dry, we can always use a black marker to go over those lines again so that they stand out. Put your cup somewhere to dry. Don't leave it outside because we wouldn't want it to blow over in the wind and leave a trail of paint behind. So leave it on a piece of newsprint somewhere in your house where it will be safe and it can dry. I hope everyone has had lots of fun making this paper mache cup. If you want to make another one, you can see some examples of other characters that you can turn your paper mache cup into. So watch the video demonstration as you work. So click on the second link in the activity description, and that will be the video of Miss Grace, of me, doing the video demonstration. And you can have this going as you are doing your paper mache painting. That way you can pause it or rewind it when you need to. Just a heads up for next week, we are going to be making tea-stained ancient looking paper. Now this isn't a very long task, but it is a very effective trick to make our paper look like it's really old. And it'll be a really good trick to have for any projects that you want to do in the future that involve really old pieces of writing or really old artifacts. You can make your projects look really old as well. So you may need some adult help to help set you up for next week's task, but you won't need a lot of adult help to do the task. We will need tea bags, warm water. We're not using boiling water, we're just going to be using warm water, some white paper and a baking tray that water will sit in. So those are the only things you need for next week. I hope everyone has had lots of fun this week. Make sure you click on the second video in the description to watch the demonstration along with your painting the paper mache cup this week. I'll see everyone next week.